Now, another land revenue system, that was Maholwari system. In this system, land were given only the Maholdars or head of each and every house or Mahol. Mahol means house. In a village, there were so many Mahols or house. Land was given only the head man of each house or each Mahol, who was called Maholdar. So, in this system, company made land revenue agreement between Maholdar and company's official. This land revenue system was like Raitwari system. This system was introduced in 1822 by Holt Mackenzie, a revenue officer of English East India Company, introduced Maholwari system. Maholwari system basically became popular in the Gangetic Plain, including Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh and Punjab. Similarly, another land revenue settlement was also introduced by British government, that was Bhaiyacharya system or Bhaiyacharya land revenue settlement, that was also called village-based land revenue system. In this system, a village headman was given land on some particular condition by British, and the revenue was collected only from that particular village headman. This land revenue settlement or Bhaiyacharya settlement was introduced by Elphinstone in 1824. So, we have already discussed here four main land revenue system, which are number 1, permanent settlement, number 2, Raitwari settlement. In the permanent settlement, Zamindar was the prime factor. In the Raitwari settlement, which was in South India, in Eastern India, there was permanent settlement where Zamindar was all in all. In South India, there was Raitwari settlement where Rayats or peasants were all in all. In Gangetic Plain, Maholwari settlement was introduced where Maholdar or head of every house was all in all in revenue system. Okay, in case of Bhaiyacharya system, which was introduced in the frontier provinces, especially in Sindh, Multan, etc. region, there village headman was all in all in the revenue related matters. Now, our new topic, impacts of these land revenue systems to the Indian society. The impact of the land revenue system impact of the land revenue systems in the Indian society. This is very important for you. Just listen to me. In time of the discussion of the impacts of land revenue settlement, you must remember that all these land revenue settlements had some defects, and therefore these could not fulfill hopes and aspirations of the agrarian society of India. Agrarian society of India. Number 1, heavy tax burden devastated the peasantry or agrarian society, for which poverty, famine and misery prevailed all over India. Number 2, many so-called zamindars were devastated due to the rigidity of sunset law under permanent settlement. Thirdly, all the revenue policies only benefited British government and their agents and some new urban zamindars who were really the friends of English East India Company. These new urban zamindars were heartless and cruel. Next, number four, these land revenue settlement devastated self-dependent economy of rural society in India. Actually, rural self-dependent economy and traditional Indian society were severely affected or devastated due to the implementation of various land revenue policies by British government. On the word of Dr. R.C. Dotto, Ramesh Chandra Dotto, due to poverty, famine and miseries, many leaders, British agents and brokers of the new urban zamindars dominated over the villages. These new classes had no interest in the welfare of the peasants. That's why peasants and common men finally were united to organize movement against those oppressive zamindars and some moneylenders and British officials. During the days of land revenue settlement under English East India Company, what miserable events happened that were described by Akshay Kumar Datta in his essay Polli Gramostho Projader Durabostha Bornon. In his essay Polli Gramostho Projader Durabostha Bornon, or the description of the miserable condition or appalling condition of the peasants of rural Bengal, he described there that the revenue collectors, new zamindars, were not only oppressive by nature, they were drug addicted, they were characterless, and they carried out ruthless oppression on peasants, common men, old, women, children, etc. In a word, panic-stricken situation was made by these intermediate classes during the days of new land revenue settlements introduced by British. So, as per the assumption of Akshay Kumar Datta, peasants and common men and even so-called Hindu zamindars of Bengal were not happy at all under this new land revenue system. Now we are going to discuss a new topic, that is Mahajani system. Mahajani system actually was called money lending system. Money lending system became very popular during the introduction of new land revenue system by British government in India. The money lenders were heartless, cruel, cheater and dishonest. According to Dr. Narohari Kobiraj, they intentionally exploited by various means, especially the tribals, Santhal tribals, Kol tribals were greatly exploited by the moneylenders. Moneylenders fixed the rate of interest on the Santhals up to 50% to 500%. And in the Kol tribes, they fixed their rate of interest in between 35% to 65%. So, this heavy rate of interest caused the increasing poverty, famine and misery among the common people, poor and tribal people in Bengal and its adjoining areas. Money lending system mainly became rich and prosperous as British government indirectly supported them. Money lenders actually were the supporter of English East India Company's officials, and that's why English East India Company helped the money lenders to continue their unfair activities in Bengal. Our next topic is commercialization of agriculture. Commercialization of agriculture is our new topic. In the new topic, commercialization of agriculture, you must remember that why was the commercialization of agricultural policy taken by British? Here, a very important point is that British government wanted to change the traditional feudal Indian agriculture-based economy into a dynamic, modern, mixed economy. And for the dynamism in economy, Indian economy, they adopted the policy of commercialization of agriculture. For that particular purpose, with the cultivation of rice, wheat, vegetables, etc., they also started the cultivation of tea, indigo, jute, wheat, coffee, rubber, etc. These were export quality goods which were cultivated in Bengal and in other provinces of South India and Northern India. These were very profitable to British East India Company, and these commercial crops were cultivated just to export to the other countries to earn highly. These commercial crops highly benefited English East India Company, which also became the cause of their prosperity. Many officials of English East India Company became rich and prosperous by cultivating commercial crops in various corners of India. In 1788, 10 officials of English East India Company introduced Dadon system in Bengal to encourage the cultivators to cultivate indigo. But before it, in 1777, the indigo was cultivated first by Andrews. Indigo was cultivated first by Andrews. Andrews first started cultivating indigo, and another European who also started indigo cultivation in Assam, Eastern India first. And thereafter, indigo cultivation became very popular in Bengal and as well as in other provinces. Besides, tea garden, formation of tea garden also had become a very profitable cultivation to the British. That's why from 1829, with the growth of indigo cultivation, they took special step for the cultivation of tea in the hilly regions. In this connection, we must remember that tea garden or tea industry was established by the Europeans in the second half of 19th century, especially in Assam, Bengal, southern India, and in Himachal Pradesh. Where the tea gardens were established by the Europeans, which had become a very profitable business to them. With the growth and development of tea industry, when British or Europeans were economically benefited, then the workers in the tea garden were extremely exploited by the owners of tea garden. The miserable condition of the workers in the tea garden was described in an essay named Kuli Kahini, written by Ramkumar Vidyaratna. This essay Kuli Kahini was published first in the Sanjeevani Patrika, written by Ramkumar Vidyaratna. Dwarakanath Ganguly was another famous well-wisher who wrote the book Slave Trade in Assam, in which he described the miserable condition of the workers in the Assam tree garden. Next, we have to discuss about the transport revolution. By the way, we must remember that during the days of land revenue system, many zamindars, we have already mentioned, lost their zamindari rights, and many peasants also lost their zamindari rights. They lost their own land and properties and had become Borgadar peasants. Orthat, that means peasants under the control of British landlords. Okay. In 1905, British government spent huge amount of money for the construction of railway line. In 1905, railway line was established, and at that time, total 360 crore rupees was spent by British, and that huge amount was taken from land revenue. At that time, government spent 50 crore for the growth and development in the irrigation system for the development of agriculture. So, transport system highly developed during the days of British colonial rule. In this connection, we have to remember that railway system was established first in India in 1853, especially in Bombay. The first railway line was set up in between Bombay to Thane on 16th April 1853. Here, a new part of the chapter is New Acts for Peasants. For the betterment of the oppressed peasants of Bengal and South India, many steps were taken. For the recovery, for the encouragement of the peasants of Bengal, Bengal Tenancy Act of 1885 was introduced, by which they was given land tenure permanently. Similarly, in case of South India, Deccan Agriculturists Relief Act in 1879 was introduced for the fulfillment of the interests of the riots in Bombay and Madras Presidency, who started Deccan Riot to have their permanent rights and privileges from land, cultivable land. That's why this Deccan Agriculturist Relief Act was passed, through which the rate of land revenue was reduced and many other facilities were provided to the poor and suppressed peasants of South India. Our next topic, which will start immediately after few minutes later.